Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning. My name is Nik Muhammad Daniel Hakim and my partner Hafiz bin Razali. We will presenting continuous assessment 3 PAKK 1172, that is strategies for promoting communication in children by empowering bilingual communication, integrating multimodal and translanguaging strategies in early childhood education. So our focus today is how we can integrate multimodal and translanguaging by aligning with Curriculum Prosperous 2026. So moving us forward, a more collaborative and dynamic learning environment. So before our moving forward into the next strategies, we are finding the foundation first. So this is the foundation of our strategies, the big idea and the content. Our big idea is aligning the KP 2026 goal, communication as a core competency. And the children should develop effectively when they are exposed to meaningful, culturally responsive and supportive bilingual learning environment. The vision is to transit from rigid monolingual instruction into a dynamic and inclusive pedagogical strategies that include all children to learn more than one language. Okay, for the theoretical framework, we are grounding our approach in the new pedagogies for deep learning (NPDL). We are not just looking for surface level memorization, but we want to foster critical thinking and citizenship. So we view learning through a socio-cultural lens. That is, we know that knowledge is built socially, rooted deeply in the child's own community and environment. Next. Yes. So we will deep dive for the translanguage. For the concept, we use that language is a single, fluid, and repertoire compartmentalized goods. For the pedagogical tools, we know that children are allowed to utilize their home language to make sense of the words, fostering deeper conceptual understanding. For the outcome, we get that validates cultural identity while building target language pro. So before we go further, I want to tell you about the concept that we are using for our strategies. So let's went to our deep dive. Translanguaging. First, we need to know what is translanguaging. The translanguaging is not the same with code mixing. Translanguaging is more sophisticated words that the children or the people who translanguage know entirely about what they are talking and the meaning. So, what is the concept of translanguaging? Language as a single fluid repertoire rather than compartmentalized goods. What that means? That means that words such as English, Chinese, or Malay, they can use it all with no distinction of different language. So they know each language and they can use it with their full consciousness. And pedagogical tool. It allows children to utilize their home language to make sense of the world, such as the kids when they talk Malay at home, then when they learn to translanguaging at school, it will help them to use both language and help them learn both language at the same time. Then it also fostering deeper conceptual understanding of one word. The outcome will create a validated cultural identity while building target language proficiency. So we doesn't uh, abandon their home language, but we add one more language and use both, so children can feel validated by their own native language. So next, okay, so now let's talk about the secret sauce of effective teaching. So for the next one is PD and scaffolding. Vygotsky, yeah, that is zone of proximal development. We all know that children get frustrated if a task is too hard, but they also will get bored if the task is too easy. So what we need to do? So my goal is to find a sweet spot that is that PD. So how do we help them cross the gap? So if we using through scaffolding, this meaning I provide temporary support like prompts or visual aids that I gradually take away as they become more confident. So so it's about creating a low anxiety environment where they feel safe enough to take linguistic risks and try out new vocabulary without the fear of being wrong. For the next part two, methodology and adaptation. Okay, so when we design our lesson, we use the windows and mirrors framework. Think of it this way. The materials serve as mirrors when they reflect the children's own culture and their everyday life in Malaysia. This makes them feel seen and valued. Then they serve as windows when they show them the world outside their immediate community. This approach is key to managing cognitive load. By making the content relatable, we free up their brain power to focus on meaning making rather than just struggling with the coding words.
Okay, thank you, Nick, for the explanation. So next, we are also integrating digital and physical approach. That means we are not just using only reading or only writing, just using visual, just using text. We are combining visual, auditory, and sensory by using both physical and digital approach. Why? Because the commercial material often lack of local context. So, like, how can a kids learn when it is something out of their context, out of their norms? Like, we are talking about giraffe without them never looking at a giraffe. So, we are giving them a context that is familiar with them, like night market, pasar malam. That is very familiar for them. So, this we are integrating a contextual learning. And the solution is also by applying AI tools and platforms such as Canva and notebooks and other AI to adapt the content into education environment. The tactile integration by pairing digital media and with real world object to ground the abstract concept into a concrete sensory experience. So we will show you later about how we apply these strategies into a real application that will help children learning multiple language.
Okay, moving forward for the part three, a practical application. Okay, so we will introduce you our product that is Kembara Sudik di Pasar Malam. So this is one of our prototype for the strategies in the communication for the children. So we are using this product because it's narrative-based learning experience centered on a traditional Malaysian night market, or maybe known as Pasar Malam.
Yes. And for cultural responsiveness, we also designing windows and mirrors literature providing insight into global perspective while reflecting the children's own lived local reality, like how Nick already presented earlier. So for the adaptation strategy, we integrate simplified bilingual vocabulary glossaries and teacher-narrated audio to provide a comforting and familiar narrative tone. That means we don't just use a random writing, but we write in both language, their native and English language, and we also provide audio narrated button so the children can click the button and listen to the teacher narrated voice. So it feels more comfortable and close to the kid.
So it seems like the children can learn by themselves.
Yes.
So let's see our products. Okay, so let's see our product.
Okay, so this is our first product, Kembara Cilik di Pasar Malam, and it also has the English language Alice Night Market Adventure. So it teaches children to use both their language, their non-native language, and a new language, Alice Night Market Adventure, which is scaffold their new knowledge from one that they have acquired and one that they have not acquired yet. So let's look at the first page. So the first page, we include audio, text, and visual stimulation. So, like this is the text. The blue is for their native language, and the red is for their language that they want to acquire, English. So, by putting the button, and the English button, so they can learn both language by hearing the teacher narrated audio and look at the picture. Oh, this is the night market. Night market is pasar malam in my home language. So they learn by using this stimulus. So it is same with other. Yes. Uh,
So, by using this product also, the student can spelling and pronounce the language correctly by hearing the teacher's sound and can correctly by that.
yes.
Okay, so we are applicating three features by using UDL application. So one of them is audio scaffolding. Audio control station pronunciation, allowing children to navigate complex text of their own pace. So it become more useful for children that has that the person like a slow learner can help the children more effectively by using this product. For the next one,
And for the second feature, we use visual engagement. Visual engagement is using visual cues to associate the linguistic meaning with imagery, which reduce decoding barriers. That means when the kids read the text, they don't just read an abstract text, but they also look at the imagery so they can understand what they are reading about.
for the third one, learner autonomy. So the curiosity cabinet or explorer that speak can be put on the corner of the class. So children can study by themselves if the teacher is not in the class.
So
Okay,
next,
so after we go through about the three features of our digital books, we want to know how we actually integrate this into a real life situation in our classroom. How we use this to educate the children. We use this technique for active engagement by shifting roles from transforming the reading experience from a passive listening, the children just reading passively, into an active critical storytelling where the children become a part of the story itself, the part of the educating environment itself. So I want to present, we present the strategies that we will use in a classroom environment.
Okay, so as you can see, we are using Whitehurst framework, that is PIERS. There are four steps in this PIERS step. So for the first one is prompt. is encouraging the child to say something about the books. For the second one is evaluate, providing feedback on the child's response, what the child gets. So the third one is expand. We are adding more information to the child's response. Like we respond what the child says. Like yes, that is a red apple. So for the last one, we repeat. We are prompting the child to repeat the expand with rise. So for the outcome, we can promoting active dialogue and sustain teacher-child interaction in the class or interaction by the children and the teachers. So next. So in our product, we are using a multi-modal bridge like a live demo. So like the previous product, we are using ebook. So the ebook was a digital narrative. Story narration presented through the book creator platform, providing auditory and visual stimuli. Like so back then, we have a button that can make a sound from the teacher's voice. So for the next step is a tactical integration.
Yes, tactile integration. What is tactile integration? After the kids read the text, okay, they learn about the shape of the apple, the pronunciation of apples, and their known apple in Malay. So when they know both English and Malay pronunciation, the teachers give them scaffold more with using a real objective object such as a real apple. So the kids can touch the apple, real apple, and actually integrate more multimodal visualization about what they are learning about. So it becomes a more meaningful education. So the pedagogical objective is to mapping abstract linguistic concept into a concrete physical experience that creates a sensory rich environment that solidifies the vocabulary retention through learning by doing. So,
okay, for the next part is
Part
part
four.
4, synthesis and impact.
So, why our strategies is so important and why it is very beneficial? It because it benefits both cognitive and social-emotional benefits.
So there are 3 benefits that you can get, that is holistic development, confident building, and also collaborative learning. Okay, for the first one is holistic development. Bilingualism in early childhood is strongly linked to robust social emotional development that says of the son. For the second one is confident building. Children can encouraging linguistic risk-taking in a low anxiety environment, which foster confidence in self-expression. Compare from the crowded space in class that has many students. For the third one
Is collaborative learning. By utilizing translanguaging, it allows children to leverage their understanding, aligning with achieving shared competency. They translanguage with another language, and it helps them to collaborating their different cultural environment. It is also by utilizing translanguaging allow children to leverage their diverse linguistic resource to achieve shared and thus understanding, aligning with NPDL, Deep Learning Network, by collaborative and competency. So, by using our strategies, we are not just gaining the social, emotional, and cognitive benefit, but we also addressing implementation challenge. 3 challenges that we are address is teacher as facilitator. Teacher as facilitator. Most place, teacher is the source of information. Teachers act as the teacher for everything. They become direct instruction. But by using our technique, we are not just instruction giver, but we also become a facilitator. Like how Mara Montessori said, teacher is also a facilitator and environmental for meaning. So the educator shifts from a source of information to a facilitator of meaning, providing a purposeful adult child dialogue. the kids autonomously reading the book, and the teacher give more scaffolding, like giving the real objective tools, and they also teach what the children cannot understand for further information.
Okay, for the second one is resources accessibility. By using this strategy, we can utilizing low cost. As we may know, nowadays we are using AI in our education. So by using apps like Canva and Notebook LM, this can low cost tools that can use by the teacher. Then also, teacher can generate digital content to bypass localized commercial lag. Like teacher can use the product everywhere, and everyone can use it. For the third one,
And lastly is inclusive practice. Because we are using a multimodal technology and strategy, we are not limited to normal kids only. We are inclusive, which means that a blind student can still hear the audio and learn. Problem with difficulty to speak can use it to listen by the audio of the narrative. So we are using a lot of multimodal technology so that the kids is accessible for learner from very linguistic backgrounds.
so we would like to tell you that our strategies is aligned with Curriculum Prasekolah 2026. Our product is latest and up to date, and also can be used by the teachers nowadays.
Yeah, since we use AI and digital book, we are implementing Fashion Digitals, and we also encourage critical thinking by helping students trans-languaging, and we also encourage them to lifelong learning by the kids autonomously learn by itself.
So, is there any question that you can ask?
Okay, hi, my name is Aini. So my question is this teaching method is sustainable for a teacher who has limited preparation time?
Okay, thank you for the question. So, I understand that all the teachers face the busy work from the school and also from work for school. So we are introducing this product because we can use AI to make the materials more faster and easy. So like when teacher go to the class, the teacher don't need to rushing and panic for what we need to do for the teaching activities.
Hi, I am Anis. I would like to ask a question to Hafiz. What can you conclude from this presentation?
So, what can we conclude from this presentation? The conclusion of the presentation is we use not just one concept, but we integrate a lot of concepts and strategies into one meaningful activities. By integrating this, we create a truly inclusive classroom where we use some kind of pedagogical oversight, such as Mara Montessori, Left I Got Skill for ZPD, Zone of Pedagogical Proximal Development, cultural responsiveness, where the kids is responsive and context-driven learning, where they know what they are trying to learn, and digital scaffolding, where the teachers help the kids scaffold to learn further when they already use the digital in the technique of for the products of digital ebook, and the trans-languaging, where the children use multi-language and use both language at the same time, where they can trans-language with their peers and teachers. And we also use this as evidence-based practice, where we use all the strategies to perform our activities to highest effectiveness. So the summary is, using this evidence-based practice, such as trans-languaging and digital scaffolding, we are building the block of truly inclusive classroom where all kids can learn. They use multimodal technology where visual, auditory, and scaffolding. So every kid can learn it, and with this context, a commitment to cultural responsiveness and ongoing pedagogical insights is essential for early childhood education success. That's it.
Okay, now we come at the end of our presentation. We hope that from our presentation we can get
A little insight of our technique and pedagogical strategies for us to apply in real situation in classroom. And that's all from us.
thank you.
Thank you.